The Ace Eater, an undead zombie. Whatever you call him, it's all the same. Don Lorenzo is soon going to show us why he too is a new Generation 11 member. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Animasu, bringing you guys some much needed content during these times of drought. As I'm sure you all know, Bluelock chapter 221 is on a break for an entire week, which is also the same week that I'll be going on vacation. Don't you all worry though, because aside from this video, I have 2 more coming out before next chapter, so make sure you have those notifications on so you never miss them. While you're at it, you might as well click that subscribe button, and possibly, I don't know, maybe join the Discord? Just a friendly suggestion. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this video about our favorite undead defender, and have an amazing day. Introduced to us pretty recently in the Bastard München vs Ubers match, our topic of today's video is none other than Don Lorenzo. Not only is he the heartbeat and core of the Ubers defense, Lorenzo is also a new Generation 11 member alongside other notable players such as Itoshi Sai and Kaiser. Lorenzo's first appearance already demonstrates that his new Gen 11 title isn't just for show, striking uneasiness onto the face of Kaiser from only 2 words. Yo Michael. This zombie of a defender made quick work of a full-speed blitz attack from the likes of Kaiser, introducing also his amazing nickname in the same chapter, the Ace Eater. Bearing abilities such as top-notch positioning, physical stats, and vision, we constantly have been shown why Don Lorenzo is the U20 world's strongest center back and defender. As for his backstory and rise to this level, we really don't know all too much about Lorenzo yet, other than the bit of information shared with us in chapter 216. One of the most iconic shots of this man, Lorenzo grins wide while annoying Baru, showing off his full, glistening pair of golden grills. Although Baru literally calls them disgusting and tells him to get lost, Lorenzo still feels the need to share his backstory with us here, which is, really sad actually. When Don Lorenzo was just a little boy, he lived in the slums where his parents actually abandoned him. His only option was then to just scam and steal money from people, because you do what you gotta do to live. We literally see a shot here of what looks like a 15 to 16-year-old Lorenzo, propped up with his back resting on a pile of literal trash bags and waste. According to Lorenzo here, after living such a terrible, hardship-filled life for so long, he sadly started to lose all hope. On the doorsteps of death, with no food, water, or money to his name, that's when Don Lorenzo's entire life changed because of one single man. We actually then find out that the Ubers master striker, Mark Snuffy, was the one to offer Don a way out, asking the homeless and ragged teen if he wants to play football with him. With Lorenzo's only request in return just being some money, Snuffy gladly agrees to this, which has allowed our undead fiend to climb to where he is now. Funny enough, Don Lorenzo's signature golden grills were also put on the same day as Snuffy's recruitment of him. Wanting Snuffy to prove his word to him, Lorenzo's first request ever was just to have his teeth replaced with golden grills, which is exactly what Snuffy dragged him off to have done to him. Anyways, with his backstory and prior context out of the way, let's begin to talk more about Lorenzo's current feats and abilities, so we can have some fun with his theorized moment in this matchup. Now, as I stated at the start of this video, Don Lorenzo's very first feat is one that cannot be overlooked, with him immediately preventing a goal in the favor of Bastard München. By reading Kaiser's play perfectly, Lorenzo was able to intercept a pass that was played directly towards him, who would have easily scored with this one shot and unpredictable blitzkrieg. Not only does this leave Kaiser in absolute shock, it probably has him going through some mental struggles as well, remembering all of the other times that Lorenzo had him on clamps. After stopping such a fast and unpredictable attack, the next chapter also reveals to us this little text intro, that Don Lorenzo is known as the new generation's strongest defender. Now, I don't know about you guys, but when I hear Generation Strongest in reference to anyone, I'm gonna put some respect on their name, or at least expect a moment out of them. He proves that this title was rightly given to him as well, as he's been and will continue to be a nuisance on defense to Bastard München. It's even flat out stated here by Kaiser in chapter 217 that he could easily win them this game, if they could only find some way to rebury this undead pest. The problem is, Kaiser was unable to really have any contribution to the scoreboard up until chapter 220, due to Don Lorenzo's once-in-a-generation defense. Even with that bite kick that Kaiser scored in 220, Don Lorenzo still proved his worth that chapter, with his strategic attempt at this interception here. Now, I've seen a lot of people complaining, why would Lorenzo stop marking Kaiser, blah blah blah, etc. Listen, as much as I hate to admit this, Yukimiya would have splashed that shot, y'all. Let's stop playing. Anyways, with all this talk about how amazing Lorenzo is as a defender, I'm sure you'll all be very surprised to hear that my theory is that his awakening will actually be on offense, with him swapping positions with Nico. Now, although Nico is currently playing in the Uber's midfield position, I want to point out one scenario that I think is bound to happen, which will result in Lorenzo's flow state being revealed this match. With Nico's stamina running low due to his true first usage of Metavision, I'm hoping that Don Lorenzo will make the full switch for this game, actually taking over the midfielder position completely for this duel of generational talents. Now, although he is a new generation defender, Don Lorenzo has already demonstrated some quality offensive power. His unpredictable body movement leaves him to be a lethal threat, making the defenders unable to even read one step ahead. Upper body one way, lower body the other, and half of the time he's also screaming in their face like an abnormal titan. I mean, this guy is truly an all-around threat. Anyways, after making the swap to midfield and taking a more offensive approach, it's likely that Kaiser and Lorenzo will once again duel it out, face to face as the new generational talents. Now hopefully, it's in a manner similar to that of Noel Noah and Lavinho in the FC Barça game, because this is the only matchup in the NEL where new gen members will face off against one another. Well, that's assuming that PXG doesn't also have a new gen, which let's hope they don't for BM's sake. Now this scenario of Lorenzo taking the offensive can result in so many other cool scenarios, with him truly being able to demonstrate his full potential in this match. Now as we've said many times, Lorenzo is a defender at his core, but the key to this match as stated by Noel Noah is 1v1 matchups. Italy's Ubers have this covered, with their super detailed formations and defensive tactics. However, Bayern München on the other hand, well, they have two teams in one, with the addition of a rogue kunigami. They just don't really have the facilities to lock down on the defensive part of this match, which I think will allow Lorenzo to thrive, as I said, on the offensive. Now I'm hoping that his flow state and demonstration will have some cool name like Jackpot Fiend or Resurrection, because I'm rocking with the big Don Lorenzo heavy throughout this match. The dark yet hilarious nature of his character, golden grills to blend any opponent with a smile. I mean, Lorenzo might have been one of my top 5 favorite players. That is, if he wasn't doing all this weird barking and noise making. I mean, come on, what is this? I mean, please somebody just explain, what are they putting into the bluelock water system? Anyways guys, before we wrap this video up, let's just summarize this theory a bit and do a quick recap on what I think will happen. With Nico having his stamina drained due to his long period of Metavision use, Lorenzo will make a more permanent swap in this game, taking over the position as Uber's midfielder. Either that, or Lorenzo will just swap more frequently with him and show off with his counters. Using his extremely heightened game sense and deadly strategies of the Ubers, Lorenzo can then wreak some havoc on the offensive, truly capitalizing on this game's 1v1 scenarios. With his body movement being practically unreadable alongside some deadly skill moves and off-the-ball movement, Lorenzo and Kaiser are bound to have at least one more duel in this matchup, which will be legendary. In this showcase of new generation talent, I believe that the big old Don Lorenzo will be taking the victory, mainly because Kaiser's already had his moment in this game, and I think that Lorenzo's offensive is more suited to what this game needs. Now I hope you all enjoyed today's video. I'm sorry that it wasn't as in-depth and speculative as my other theories, but Lorenzo just doesn't have much to go on. Now I hope you all have an amazing day, thank you so much for your support, and big Lorenzo on top.